Hi, thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the ultimate UAE fundraising tool, and it's the first time it's ever been offered. Every investor category active in the Emirates is in one complete research-driven resource. We're going to take a look at the spreadsheets and the directory coming up a little bit later in the video. But basically what this includes is family offices, venture capital, private equity, investment banks, investment companies. You're getting 3 databases. You're getting 658 profiles, over 1,700 pages of directories of intelligence on these firms. It's the UAE focused only, verified contacts by email, cleaned and verified as of May 2026, 0 overlap, and it's delivered within hours. So let's take a look at what's included. So to start off with, there's 3 key reasons why this resource stands apart. Well, firstly, it's exclusive to DubaiInvestorsList.com website. Now, this proprietary database is available only through my website. It's not sold through third-party marketplaces or distributed by any other provider. In other words, you can't get it anywhere else. It's something I've been working on for quite a while. Now, if you've seen my other YouTube videos and the website, you know that I have a large amount of institutional and proprietary databases. Best of all, it's fully updated as of May 2026. All profiles, contact details, and firm information have been reviewed and updated to reflect the most current data available at the time of publication. Now, of course, people change roles and positions, so you have to keep that in mind. But this is mainly for institutional groups who hopefully have their own database team and can do updating as well. Now, it's the most comprehensive UAE fundraising database available, period. Highly refined, research-driven resource covering 7 key capital provider categories across the UAE, including family offices, venture capital firms, private equity funds, investment banks, and investment companies. Now, a little bit into the research and how it was put together. It doesn't come from one source, but it does come from institutional-grade financial sources, databases, proprietary investor intelligence, insights from prior fundraising campaigns conducted in the UAE. These are ones that I've helped clients with on retainer-based mandates for a number of years, so it's been refined. This is what I call a campaign-ready database. If you're looking to raise capital or make contacts, you do not have to do very much other than work on your outreach. And it's been years of direct investor profiling and market research. My website's been up for about 10 years, and I've been involved in capital raising and database work for a number of firms, not only in the UAE but international, who look to tap that particular market for capital. Now, the result is a practical, actionable database designed to help founders, fund managers, and advisors identify and approach the right capital sources with confidence. Okay, so first, before we get into the Excel spreadsheets, let's take a look at what the directories includes. Now, we have UAE family office profiles, and then the second folder is UAE private equity, venture capital, investment bank, investment company profiles. These are all PDFs. So let's open the first one. So you can see here down the bottom left, we've got 193 files. Now, when these profiles were created, I used a number of key fields, key information. Not every bit of information could be compiled, and where it couldn't be compiled, I say it's not disclosed. I'll show you an enlarged version of what the directories will look like, but let's just take a look and scroll down here. You can see that you're going to get 4 pages for each, and they all include information relative to fundraising, sector interests, and any information on how to conduct outreach, and key contacts will also be on that. They will also be on the Excel spreadsheets coming up a little bit later. But just to give you a quick look, so as I go through them, you can see they all are going to have 4 pages. So again, this is the family office ones, and we have 193 firms that have been profiled. Again, this is information that comes from institutional sources, prior campaigns, and other proprietary information that basically has been obtained over a number of years of research. Again, these are databases and directories for institutional grade firms. So that looks at the family office one. Now let's take a look at the second category. Again, you've got 193 profiles here, 4 pages each. Okay, now let's open up the UAE private equity, venture capital, investment bank, and investment company profiles. Again, they're all PDFs. You can see on the bottom left-hand corner, we have 465 profiles. Now, these are a little bit smaller. They're two-page profiles. The third page is just a disclaimer. So on this particular one, as you can see, I'm going to go through it very much the same way I did for the other version. Again, I'm going to show you larger samples of what these look like, but just for confidentiality reasons for the video, I'm just going to scroll through them so you can see that they all have 2 pages. And again, you have 465 firms highlighted, all updated, all the emails have been verified. Again, perfect for fundraising, whether you're looking for venture capital, private equity, investment banks, investment companies, and again, key parties in those firms. No other database package is like this. One of the things that has to be kept in mind is people do change firms, but as of May 2026, this is the most up-to-date version that you're going to find, and I will be updating these on an annual basis. So that shows you, as I scroll down to the bottom, you have, again, 2 pages of key information for each of the profiles. Okay, now let's take a look at what's involved in the directory. I'm going to show you 2 different formats. One is the family office directories, and that's the one with 193 firms and 4 pages, and it's the one I have up on the screen here. It is the PDF version, and just to make the video a little bit easier and also to keep things more private, I have blurred out a little bit of information, but just to give you an idea of the format. So you're going to get 4 pages for the family offices. The first one is just the firm overview, key items regarding how long they've been in business, some address details, company website, that sort of thing. And then the asset classes are down here. Again, all this stuff is coming off of the spreadsheet and other materials. So there's a very direct correlation between what you see in the directories and what you're also going to find on the spreadsheet, although the directory is far more detailed. You're going to get information on the type of preferences they have. For example, it could be real estate, it could be private equity, it could be infrastructure, natural resources. Now, if I didn't have the information, it's going to say not disclosed. You're going to see a fair bit of information here that will say that, and that's just because of what's available in the market, but there's still a significant amount that's going to help you. These databases are really lined up towards real estate and private equity. Now, the second 2 pages, you're going to get some recent news, if any. You're going to get any information on outreach positioning, engagement strategy. There's some rating on basically the investment score. So some of these are going to give you a bit of an idea. Are they very strong candidates, weak candidates? And then on the 4th page, you're getting estimated investment parameters, asset classes here. You can see here you've got private equity. This one's active in it. You've got real estate active. And then if there's any information on region, it's listed here, for example, on infrastructure. This one's active in the GCC, MENA, and the Middle East. And then down here, you're going to have generally at least one of the key contacts. That spreadsheet will have multiple ones, but generally on this particular one here, I'm going to only have one contact. Now let's take a look at what a directory for the private equity, venture capital, investment bank, investment companies looks like. Okay, now we're over on the sample directory for the private equity, venture capital, investment bank, investment company categories. For this one here, we have 465 firms that are highlighted, and again, you're going to have the Excel spreadsheet with all the information on these as well. And this particular directory has 2 pages of information, and then it has a trailing last page with this just the disclaimer. It's just the way it was set up when I did the batch formatting. So on this one here, I'm giving you an investor score, investor relevance, whether they're direct, active, whether they're a VVIP, or whether they're a retail investor that would look at 250,000 and up in single investments. Now that's been included in this database, which makes it really rare because it really is aimed at who the particular parties are as opposed to the firm. This one's not flagged, which means I didn't have enough information for it. The firm overview, for example, this one here, it says that the firm manages and deploys private capital across a wide range of asset classes and diverse direct investment mandates. Information general of contact details here. I have blocked out the website and the LinkedIn here just for the purpose of the video, but those are mostly all going to be in these particular formats. Firm classification, so what type it is, whether they do direct, multi-asset. This is a C-suite, decision-making style C-suite. When they were established, how many people in the firm, that sort of stuff. Now, I also have some outreach and engagement strategy, and that comes right off of the institutional database of what they like to see and how you should approach them, and also some past history in dealing with some of these clients. It's also on here as well. And if I didn't have it, I didn't add it in there. Again, this is a type of database that's been formatted, created, and managed over multi-year categories, multi-year mandates, so it's not just a one-off exercise. Investor fit score as well, some metrics, whether it's direct investment appetite, venture capital, likelihood of response, the 6 out of 10 for this one. Estimated probability of engagement is moderate to high. Reason I put this in here is just to set some expectations. Some of the family offices, when you send them out emails, it doesn't matter how professional, how good your opportunity is, some of them just never reply. So it's just important to keep that in mind. I've included this in this directory to give you a bit of an idea. I've also included some estimated investment parameters. That could include estimated check size, preferred structures, investment horizons, decision-making style, and the relationship importance. So again, this is all part of what you would see in an institutional grade database and directory. Key contacts, I've X'd them out here for the purpose of the video, but in almost all these cases, you're going to get a full name, senior contact, and their company email, and in some cases you will get their mobile numbers if it's part of the C-suite database, and in many cases you're also going to get their LinkedIns. So that is the completion of what the directories look like for these unique databases. Okay, back to the title page. You can see we've taken care of the profiles and the videos. Now let's take a look at the 3 databases. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the 3 databases that come with this package. And you can see here, the first one we're on is the UAE Private Equity Venture Capital C-Suite Investor Profiles. And I will scroll down to the bottom. These are Excel sheets, but I'm just showing them in the display window for the ease of the video. You can see there's around 2,290 profiles here. We've got first name, last name, job title, company name. We've got their email. So this is their company emails. Their seniority, departments. Some of them will have their mobiles. And then as you can see, if I scroll over to the right, you're going to see the number of employees at the company. You're going to see what the industry is. In this particular one, we're focusing on capital markets, investment management, executive offices, investment banking, private equity, venture capital. And again, these match the directories that you saw in the previous part of the video. We move over to the right a little further. You're getting their personal LinkedIns. You're getting all their personal LinkedIns, the website, company LinkedIn, and then we've got some scoring here that I've done, which is investor relevance and investor score. Now, this is a exercise that I've done on these ones, and it's also based on previous fundraising, previous contacts, and information that gets gleaned from the LinkedIns and other sources that we have. They're not to be considered 100%, but it's a guide. What it means, if it's active investor direct, that means number 5, that's the highest score. That means that that particular person in that company has been considered a VVIP or has had some investor relevance. Doesn't mean that they've invested in or will invest, but the information that we've been able to gather does show that they're a high probability. Non-relevant basically means we haven't found anything in their profiles, their background, their company that relates to that they've made direct investments. In this one, the level is $250,000 and up. So these are personal uh, uh, relevance, not company. And I've done that for all of them. So that's a good guideline, especially when you're sending out those outreach letters. You can see they range from 1 to 5. Now, this is a great database because it also matches up with the corporate database. And again, all these contacts are on the profiles. And that's going to really help you out. Now let's take a look at the second one. This is the UAE Family Office Database, 100% updated for 2026. All emails have been verified. You've got the firm name, the background. You've already seen the directories on this, so a lot of this information has already been moved over to that side. And then as I move across, you're getting the company email, you're getting the year established for a number of them, you're getting assets under management. Now, the UAE Family Office Database has less information, again, because it's more, a lot of these are private, some of them don't have websites. This is just information that has been pulled off an institutional grade database. Again, this is a really, really key part, is that it is actual information that's been gathered by other fundraisers throughout the years, and even myself and clients that I've been dealing with. So you've got their private equity strategy, their geography, industry preferences, some of the verticals you can see here. And if we scroll over to the right, you're going to see information about natural resources and infrastructure. I've also got some key outreach positioning, engagement strategy, personalization hooks in here. And the last update that we've been able to verify from either the institutional database or information from their latest contacts with anybody that I've been involved with. And you can see if I scroll down to the bottom, not all these fields are going to be complete. I've disclosed that before. You are getting a fair bit of information. Most important one will be, are they investing in private equity here, and are they investing in real estate? Most of the family office sectors lean towards private equity and real estate, because those are the mandates and the previous history that this database has been used for. Again, it's just a guide and starting point for your team. So that is the firms. Now let's look at the key contacts. So the key contacts, as I scroll down to the very bottom, you can see there's around 439. Scroll up, back up to the top. You're getting their name, you're getting their role, you're getting their job title, you're getting the asset class that they are most involved with. Again, you're going to see a lot of private equity, a lot of real estate. You're going to get their company email. If I have it, I think there's about 109 or close to 200 of those. Now, it should be noted, if you do not have the email, you can just do some domain matching, because for most companies, it's going to be first name dot last name and then at whatever the firm name is. So if you don't have it, the other way to do it is just go to LinkedIn. The odds are that if you punch in this gentleman's name, put it into LinkedIn, if you don't have the email, you're going to have the LinkedIn contact. So that's another great way to be able to match those up. It's going to help you fill this out. The databases that I have, these are institutional, and they're for institutional corporate grades. So they're not to be used for spamming. They're basically for research for people who are running professional fundraising campaigns. So that is the family office one. I believe from the past work and past history of working on the UAE family investment, this is the most advanced one there is, period. No one else has as much data. Now let's look at the third database. It's a UAE venture capital private equity database. So this is where I matched up a lot of the private equity firms with the C-suite database that had the contacts. So again, these three databases are all interconnected in some way, without duplication, of course. But this is going to have the firm name. It's going to have the background, how many funds they have, if any, and you can see firm type. You've got private equity, corporate investors, investment companies, sovereign wealth funds. As we scroll down the bottom here, you see there's 113 of these. Again, these were all part of the information that you saw in the profiles, the 465 profiles, of which some of these are included. And then as we scroll over to the right, very much like the family office database, you're getting their private equity strategy, industries, verticals. You're getting information on the real estate, what sector they like. Could be distressed assets, it could be multifamily, it could be commercial, and then you're getting the infrastructure data as well. So those are the three databases that make up the package for this particular offer, again with all the directories and all the databases as updated as they can be up to May 2026. For more information, contact DubaiInvestorsList.com. Please like, share, and subscribe.